Hello and welcome to GBN Live. I'm your host Tracy Hansen. I'm with the Saybrook chapter of GBN. Hey Saybrook. Before we get started, I would like to thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group. You can reach them at 843-492-5422. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. Their email is grandstrandlawgroup.com, and I've used them before myself and for my business, and I highly recommend them. Also, you can leave your comments for our guest or for GBN in the comment section. You may have to give us permission. So to do that, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and that will give us permission to show your comments. So if you have any questions for GBN or for today's guest, please type them in your comments, and we'll do our best to get them answered on GBN Live. Today with us is Tina Hunter from the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach, and she is with the Grand Strand North Chapter of GBN. So stay tuned, and we will be right back with Tina and her adorable friend. All right, welcome back. Thank you again for joining us. Today we are with Tina Hunter with the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach, and her special friend. Who do we have here, Tina?
This is Zoe. Zoe's a dog that recently came into our shelter. Stray dog, just found wandering on her own. She's about 5 years old. Ears soft as velvet.
She is, and what a sweetie too. I can't believe she's about 5'2". I thought she was a lot younger than that. Hi, Zoe.
She's a little bit older, but this is typical, of the animals that we serve in the shelter.
So did somebody find her and bring her in, or was she just, did you
Animal control.
Animal control, okay.
And we work with our local animal control agency, and she was running down the street. North Myrtle Beach doesn't have a whole lot of safe streets for dogs just to wander. Right.
Aw. Very good. How long has she been with you?
She's been with us about 3 weeks now.
Okay.
She is heartworm positive, so we've had to do some multiple vet visits, and got to get those nasty heartworms taken care of.
Yeah. Now, if somebody wanted to adopt her, would they have to wait for her to be heartworm negative? Because I know it takes a little while.
No, we can actually go ahead and do the adoption and get her into a home. We would actually prefer that, right? So we would rather her have to go through the heartworm treatment in a home than at the shelter. Right. Because that's one of the things with heartworm treatment is you want them to be really calm and relaxed. And let's face it, a kennel full of 48 other dogs, there's nothing calm and relaxing about the shelter. So we'd love to get her in a home before she actually starts her treatment. Yeah,
when we adopted my dog, she was heartworm positive as well. So we went through that whole thing with trying to keep her calm, and she was, young.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It is hard. And they definitely need to stay nice and calm.
Add that into a shelter environment where there's lots of other dogs and everybody's energy level is up here.
And their heart rate's getting raised, and we don't want that.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
adorable. But I don't think we're going to have much trouble getting her home.
She's super calm and
she's a really good dog.
So sweet.
Typical hound though, so that nose is to the ground always.
That's what she's doing now.
But when she is walking, it's very gentle. A lot of hounds will pull you around, kind of like she's trying to do in here right now. But when you're out and about, she's just a gentle sniffer.
Yeah, she seems it. She didn't seem like she was pulling on a leash or, just wants to sniff under bushes and all, everything she can get her nose to. Well, she's super sweet. So if anybody is interested in adopting her, you can always reach out to us at GBN Live, and we can get in touch with you, or you can go right to the Grand Strand Humane Society.
Humane Society of North.
Of North Myrtle Beach.
Two different agencies.
Yes, of North Myrtle Beach. Thank you for clearing that up. So we got to Zoe a little bit, and I'm sure we'll get back to her because I just am obsessed. But let's talk about you a little bit. Where are you from and your family? And
I am right here from Horry County.
I'm a
true Horry County native. You can tell by the way I say Horry County. I don't say Horry County like transplants. It is Horry County. My husband is from here as well. All of our family is. I've lived here my entire life. We have 2 kids, almost adult kids. I have a 20-year-old son and a almost 18-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And we love this area. I mean, we just this is home.
Yep. Yeah, you don't meet too many people who are, born and raised.
No. Generations.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you are with like you'd mentioned, the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. How long have they been around, and can you tell us a little bit about their organization?
Yeah. So I'm actually one of the founders of the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
I started out with Grand Strand Humane Society in 1996, and then in 2001 left Grand Strand Humane Society to form the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. So we've been operating the city of North Myrtle Beach's animal shelter since 2001.
Okay. All right. Very good. Wow. So a while now.
Well,
it's been going on.
Just a little bit.
So before we get into adoptions and the adoption process, there are also other services that you offer there as well. Can you tell us about those veterinarian services?
Yeah, so the Humane Society has kind of evolved over the years. Our primary function is getting animals off the street and getting them into a safe environment until they can be adopted. But over the years, we've had to evolve to help people a little bit more. So we do help people with spay and neuter. People that can't afford to have their animals spayed and neutered, we will absolutely help them with the cost of that. We're very active in the community with TNR, trap, neuter, and return. So getting cats that are not tame, stray cats that aren't friendly, feral cats that are wild, getting those fixed and putting them back into the community. It's really hard to adopt out a feral cat.
That's what I've heard, and that with the release, it allows. They want to be outside in
they're
colony.
Feral. They are no different than a squirrel or a raccoon or any kind of other wild animal. And back in the day, we used to euthanize those animals when they were brought in shelters. And we started TNR back in 2017 so that we are no longer euthanizing those animals. We learned that when you pull those animals out of the community, others just move into the community. So by TNRing them, we're stopping that vacuum effect and keeping animals safe, keeping them so that they're not reproducing. So we do a lot of TNR. We also help people with microchipping their pets. We offer that at cost to the public. We do several free and reduced fee vaccine clinics throughout the year to help people that are struggling financially. And we also have a pet pantry. For families that have food insecurities, they are welcome to come to the shelter, no judgment whatsoever.
That's great.
We'll provide them with food for their pet. And there's all kinds of things that we do that aren't listed anywhere for everybody, but we're a service organization. So if people are having challenges with their pets, all they need to do is just reach out to us, because we'll find a way to help them if we can.
That's great, and that's a great message out there too, that if you are having trouble with your pets or food in these times, that there is some support for you. And that's fantastic. I mean, and especially I'm sure being in the shelter, the microchipping, I'm sure you just think is so important, which I mean my dog's microchipped as well, and it really is, and to offer it at cost, I believe it was maybe $15 or something, which is so
and that's
great. That's great.
A lot of times when folks get microchips implanted in their pet, then they have the added cost of registering that. That's included in that.
That's great. That's fantastic.
So we would be out of a job if every animal was microchipped.
Wouldn't that be great?
To exist. It would be great. I don't know what I would do with my days, but I would find something else to serve.
So let's talk a little bit about education. And I know you offer classes, representative to go to a child's classroom, maybe their Girl Scout or Boy Scout troop meeting, career days. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I didn't know anything, that you had done that as well. So that's neat.
Part of what we do is our Humane Education program. We're very fortunate. Our shelter manager of the last 17 years is a retired school teacher. So that was one of her projects when she first started at the shelter. And what she does is go out to the communities to scout groups, schools, daycares, anybody that wants to listen. And she has these curriculums for all ages where she talks about pet responsibility. We try to encourage compassion and teach compassion and empathy to children, so that hopefully when this next generation becomes our age, we're not going to have the problem that we have in animal shelters today, because the younger generation will be more compassionate and be more responsible with animals.
Right, and that all begins with that education. Yeah, absolutely.
And we make it fun for them. We make it really fun for them, and just instill in them now that this is how to be a good pet parent. This is how to be a good human. So.
Right, and the microchipping and licensing all goes along with that. For sure.
They go home and tell mom and daddy.
Right. Yep, exactly. So now in North Myrtle Beach, you need a domestic animal license to adopt. So what's that requirement about?
So we are the only municipality right now that still has the microchip or the licensing program.
Okay.
Probably because I am a big advocate of it, and I encourage our city council to continue the program. Basically, the program was started long before I started, basically to make sure that we know what animals are living in our community, and they have to pay. It's $5 and $7, so it's not very expensive. But in order to get that tag, you have to provide proof that your animal has been vaccinated for rabies.
Okay, gotcha.
And that is the real purpose in the program, is to make sure that all the animals living in our community are vaccinated,
sure.
and safe. But it also helps, if there's a natural disaster or an emergency situation, home fire or something like that, we have that on record that, hey, there's 6 dogs that live in the house.
Right.
We need to get somebody over there to get those dogs out.
Right, and didn't even think of a situation like that, but sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you're really advocating, for the animal in all situations, and that's a great way to know who's in your community.
It's all about just protecting the community and serving the community and being there however we can be there.
Yeah, that's great. It really sounds like you are too. So we're going to take a quick break, and after the break, we're going to start to talk a little bit about what someone would need to do to adopt Zoe or any of the other animals that we have in North Myrtle Beach. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today.
Welcome back to GBN Live. I'm your host, Tracy Hansen, and with me today is Tina Hunter with the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. She's also with the Grand Strand North Chapter of GBN. So Tina, before the break, we mentioned that we're going to talk a little bit about the process of adoption. So I read that there's a survey someone can take, then they can get matched up, apply for adoption, sit down and interact with the pet, see if it's a good fit. It's a lot of steps, you know. Why is it so important that they go through these steps?
Well, they don't have to take the survey. They can absolutely just come in and schedule an appointment. We do all of our adoptions by appointment because it is a lifetime commitment. It's not a decision to be made very quickly. But our survey is pawsome. That's my new word, pawsome. And it really gathers a lot of information about people and their personalities and their lifestyle and what they're looking for in a pet.
Right.
Because so many times we see this dog and a dog, and it's adorable and that's great and all, but for somebody like me who works 10, 12 hours a day, having a young, really active dog maybe isn't the wisest decision. So our survey takes information that we input about the animals and their behavior, and then the information you put in about your lifestyle and what you're looking for in a pet's personality, and just meshes the two.
That's awesome.
So it makes our job a whole lot easier because when you do the survey, it'll say, these 4 dogs are the ones for you to meet.
Right.
And then we introduce you to those dogs. That doesn't mean you can't pick another dog, but it really just gives us the information we need to make a match and to set that adoption up for success, because we want it to be for the lifetime of the pet. And a lot of the reasons why shelters are so overcrowded right now is because people take on pets that really aren't suited for them or their lifestyle, and then they get overwhelmed, and what happens? The animal's rehomed or brought into a shelter like ours.
I love that you do that. When we were looking for our rescue dog, that was a consideration. The breeds, what she was mixed with, could kind of give you an insight of what she's going to be like, and I think, so many times people do just walk into a shelter and say, oh, that's a cute one.
Yes.
But, that's a cute one, but you work, like you say, you work 10 hours a day, and this is a cute Australian Shepherd that is not going to do well by itself all day. It is not going to work. My dog is part Australian Shepherd, part Lab, but I also work from home. So that kind of thing worked for us, and we're active and that kind, So I think it's really important that people do take that into consideration, and having that survey and saying these dogs would be a great match for you. I'm sure the success level of your adoptions is much better than had you not had that.
Very low return rate. Our return rate for last year was 4%. For dogs and cats.
That's fantastic.
So when you're adopting out, 1,000 animals a year and you get back 4%, that's pretty good.
Right. That's great. That's great, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So we will talk a little bit about donations, because I'm sure you are open for donations. But can you tell us a little bit about the Ambassador program?
It's like my favorite program, honestly. That is where we empower local businesses and our foster parents to just be an extension of the Humane Society. So folks that are fostering animals actually are trained in how to facilitate the adoptions.
Okay.
So they can foster an animal in their home and actually facilitate the adoption. They are the animal's best ambassadors because they see them in an environment that we don't see them in. The shelter is not a home. It can never be a replacement for their home. So our foster parents, they get to know the animals on a level that we'll never know them on, and they are their best advocates. So we started out with adoption ambassadors for fosters, and then we kind of expanded that into local businesses that have turned into adoption ambassadors. So lots of places like vet clinics, and we even have a law firm in North Myrtle Beach that is an adoption ambassador. If you go into that law firm, you're going to find a shelter dog in that law firm. So whoever they're fostering at the time is going to be in on the closings and all the meetings.
Okay.
And they have done very well placing animals. But it's just a wonderful opportunity for fosters and for businesses to show their support of our mission, and it's a win-win for us. It's one less animal in the shelter and one animal that's not having to live in the shelter, but we know that if they're fostered, they're going to get adopted.
Right. And I love how you help the foster parent do that, and how they can better facilitate the adoption and you know, because I think probably a lot of times people say, well, I'd love to foster, but I know I'll end up keeping it then, and you know, I don't want another dog right now. So to help them like really be able to facilitate how to get that dog into its own home is fantastic.
And we do have a lot of fosters that end up
foster fails.
Well, I don't call them foster fails, I call them foster wins.
Yeah.
You know, we do have a lot of people
I like that better.
That foster once and then they're done because they end up falling in love. And
Right.
I
Which is great.
understand that.
Yeah,
right?
and that's great, you know.
I mean, I have right now 4 cats and 1 dog at my house that I'm fostering in addition to my animals.
Right.
So I understand how hard it is to...
Now, are fosters something that you have a hard time finding? Do you always need more foster families? I would imagine, I would imagine.
Never have enough foster parents. In my world, in the perfect world that I have in my head, I would love it if every animal, every dog was in a foster home instead of the shelter. And then we could just do big events on the weekends and everybody could come out and the fosters could, you know, really, girl, we can't get up there. The fosters could really talk about the animals to the potential adopters. That would be my ideal situation.
And that's super helpful. The dog we had adopted before this one was with a foster, and she would go to the adoption events, but hearing just how the dog was in the car, on trips, on this and that, really helped us make our decision that she would be a great fit for us, because it was coming, you know, right from word of mouth from where she's living. So it really was helpful, I think.
And I think we have a lot of folks that in the area that just aren't, they're not ready to commit to a lifetime with a pet. And fostering is the way to go.
Right, good point.
You can have the love and companionship of a pet, but not the financial responsibility and the long-term responsibility. Because when you foster for us, we pay for everything.
Okay,
we pay for
that's good to know.
all of their vet care, all of their supplies. I mean, down to water and food bowls and everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay,
we provide everything.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. All right, right now we do a little part of our show that we call Rapid Fire, and it kind of takes us away from what we're talking about, just so we can get to know you a little bit better as a GBN member. So these are just a few easy, fun questions.
Okay.
Look at her falling asleep. This is very funny. What was your first job?
My first job was I actually served ice cream down on the boulevard at the pavilion.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
I'm kind of both. I'm up early morning, usually bottle feeding babies, and I'm up late at night, so I sleep very little.
Yeah. That's usually people who answer both. It's because they're not getting enough sleep.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
All right, so this is an interesting one. Are you a dog or a cat person?
I thought I was a dog person until about 10 years ago, and I'm totally a cat person.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
totally.
That's so
a cat
funny.
Person.
Look at her. Her eyes are closing. Somebody has to adopt this dog. She is the sweetest thing. She is so good and so sweet and so soft. Do you like dark or milk chocolate better?
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Favorite color?
Green.
Okay. Do you have a favorite word or phrase?
I don't know that I do. I don't know that I do.
All right, we'll go on to the next. How about a favorite movie?
I don't watch a lot of TV or movies. Yeah.
A favorite song or artist?
I do have a favorite artist. I am totally an Allman Brothers fan.
Oh, nice.
And my favorite song is Soulshine, written by Warren Haynes.
All right, very good. Do you have a favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't get a lot of time off, so anytime I can get away, we do love to camp, so somewhere in the woods.
Yeah, we like to camp too. That's fun. And a favorite mobile app?
Oh, GBN.
Yay!
That's probably the one that I use the most.
All right, very good. So that was our rapid fire that we just like to do to break up our interview a little bit. I just can't get over how she's relaxing like this.
I definitely have the spot right here.
It is so cute. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, like I said, about donating. And I'm sure donations, you can never get enough. So are there other ways that everyone can get involved, including being a sponsor? How do they donate if they want to make a donation to you?
So we basically operate off of donations. We do receive a little bit of money from the city of North Myrtle Beach to operate each year. They give us $130,000 a year, and our expenses run around $600,000 a year.
Wow!
So I know going into the beginning of the year that I have to raise, almost $500,000 just to operate. So people can donate monthly, they can donate annually, quarterly, however they choose to donate. We have a lot of ways to engage people. My favorite program is our pet sponsorship program, and that's where folks donate. It's $50. We send you a little card. So like if you pick Zoe, I'll send you a little card about Zoe and her life story that we know about, and then when she gets adopted, I send you her Gotcha Day photo with her pet parents to let you know that she got adopted. But folks, we have memberships, so we are a membership organization, so folks can pay their membership dues every year, and then they get to help us make big decisions, vote for our board members and things like that. And we do have a good number of corporate sponsorships that they are part of our marketing partner plan. So if you look on our website or follow us on social, you'll see where businesses sponsor our Pet of the Days and our newsletter and all kinds of things like that. So we love to get businesses involved and help them advertise their companies by showing the community that they support our mission and what we're trying to accomplish.
What about other donations, like food donations or that kind of thing, or do you want strictly monetary, or what works best for you?
There's nothing that we won't
Blankets,
take.
like any, like those kind of things too.
Yep, we have a full
leashes.
list. We have a full list of our supplies on the website if anybody's interested in donating supplies. We do. I will, for the last, I'm going to say 2000. So probably the last 12 years, we have not bought any pet food in the shelter.
Wow.
Other than maybe like some prescription food for a special needs case. But our community keeps us in pet food enough that we are able to feed the animals in the shelter, offer our pet pantry at the shelter, and then we also supply 2 other pet pantries in the community with food.
Very good. Yay, North Myrtle Beach.
So,
good job.
But there's nothing we won't take. We get a lot of folks that are cleaning out a house. Yeah, bring those rags. Bring your mop buckets. Bring your old brooms. That we can never have enough supplies. Gotcha.
And what about, like, dog collars and leashes? Somebody's pet passes and they have their leash left over. You'll take that.
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's a great thing too. Yeah, awesome. So do you have any events or anything coming up that you want to tell us about that? Yeah. Adoption events. Let's get out there.
We're out and about just about every weekend. I mean, obviously we have to fundraise, but we love getting out in the community. We actually have an event Friday of this week at Mellow Mushroom. It's our annual Lunch of Love.
Okay.
So we'll be at the North Myrtle Beach Mellow for lunch. It's $12. The Humane Society receives $6 from every meal. And so exciting. We do, every January we have craft day at the shelter, and we let the animals paint paw prints, and they lick the peanut butter and smear and make all this crazy stuff. And then we have a local artist that turns those into Picasso paintings and Meowster pieces. And then we offer those for sale that day to raise money, and it is so adorable. So we have that this Friday, and then on the 25th is our Macaroni Mania event, and it's a huge event. We have about 9 restaurants coming out, and they are cooking up their best macaroni dishes, and it's all for a fundraiser for the shelter. It is so much fun. So we're all fasting now so that we can eat all those carbs on the 25th. We have music, we have adoptions. I think there's about 40 vendors that'll be out that day. It's a big time. We have adult beverages, we have sodas, petting zoo. It's just a fun day at the North Myrtle Beach Park and Sports Complex.
Okay. And what day is that then?
That's on the 25th.
The 25th.
Saturday the 25th.
That's
Starts
awesome.
at 11.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm already craving macaroni.
Right.
I keep hearing about all these dishes, but it's really a fun time for families to come out, and we just have a lot of fun.
That does sound fun. And I just, anywhere you have a whole bunch of dogs, I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah, me too.
So you can get in touch with Tina if you have any questions about Zoe or donations, events, or anything, if you want to foster, which would be fantastic, her number is 843-249-4948. You can also contact her at the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach, so that would be Humane Society of NMB.org. And, reach out anytime and, offer anything you can. Tina, before we go, I would like to ask you a GBN-related question. So you're part of our GBN network, and why do you feel that referral marketing is something that could help you, the Humane Society, and dogs like Zoe?
I love my GBN family, and that's the way, I think most chapters are that way, but my GBN team is just an extension of my staff. I'm a nonprofit. I have very little resources. I have, 13 people on staff, but I don't really. I don't know exactly how many people are in our chapter right now, but let's say 26. I have 26 employees that I am not paying, because everyone in my chapter is looking out for us. They're our eyes and their ears. They're out in the community talking about what we need and what we do. So it's just an extension of our organization. We have 26 employees that we're not paying, that are our best advocates. And also because I always have a resource. So if I need help with plumbing, I have somebody that's going to come to me and help me. So I have 26 people that are experts in what they do, that are going to help me professionally and help me if I need a service. Right.
That's awesome. I like how you called them team
They're
members.
A family.
It's great. It's great. Well, thank you for joining us, Tina. It's been fantastic talking to you. I've had a great time with Zoe, who's sound asleep right now. She's so good, everybody. Really, if you're looking for a nice, good on a leash dog, look at that. She's adorable. So, again, thank you. And remember, if it's Wednesday, it's GBN Live. So we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.